The day after the disaster, for the first time, drivers have to figure out how to get to where they're going without driving through Midtown on Interstate 85.
On the left, you can see the video everybody was glued to around this time last night. Massive flames shooting from 85, then a section collapsing onto the road below. On the right, a view of the bridge from Skyfox 5. You can see crews working to clear away the collapsed part of the interstate. It's the first step in the massive cleanup and recovery effort. Our Skyfox drone flew over the collapsed section of the interstate to give you a unique look at the dramatic destruction. It's almost an eerie sight. No cars on what is normally one of the busiest stretches of roadways in our city.
Well, the drone gives us a look at the giant hole where the roadway should be. Instead, thousands of pounds of concrete lay flattened on the road below. Now, it's going to be a massive job to clean all of this up and to repair that bridge.
And tonight we've learned that rebuilding and repair will take months.
Yeah, and that means that alternate route you use today may become your normal route for the foreseeable future. Here's what you need to know right now. Now, obviously, the section of I-85 North that collapsed will have to be replaced, but bridge inspectors have determined that 2 more northbound sections, along with 3 southbound sections, will also have to be replaced. So far, there's no date on when those repairs will be complete, but we're told it will take several months.
And that means I-85 will be closed from the I-75 Brookwood split to the North Druid Hills exit for several months. Officials say I-285 and I-20 are the best alternates for most drivers.
Now, we have team coverage of the bridge repair and the traffic problems that the collapse has caused. We're going to start with Fox 5's Portia Broner. And Portia, you've been out with crews who have been focused on this collapsed section of the bridge.
Yeah, and there's really a lot going on here now, almost 24 hours. You've got the cleanup phase of this, but you've also got inspectors still out there. You've got investigators trying to figure out what ignited this PVC pipe in the first place. And then you've got a lot of crews literally coming in as we speak to this area, getting ready for the demolition of all of this. It's a lot going on and still a lot more questions than answers. As thick black smoke and raging flames soared high above I-85 Thursday evening, brave Atlanta firefighters were tackling the blaze below, but pulled out quickly when 2 battalion chiefs spotted critical signs of trouble. Friday, Chief Joel Baker credited those chiefs with sparing firefighters from this catastrophic collapse. Can you just explain more? What did they see and how soon did they see it? Because just minutes before, your firefighters were underneath that area.
They heard the crackling of the concrete. They were able to see the possibility the concrete was flying all over the place, going towards the firefighters. It's really the experience of those 2 battalion chiefs, as well as those officers on the scene, who made a great recognition to determine that the bridge was getting ready to collapse and move everyone away. Friday morning, firefighters were back on Piedmont Road, dousing stubborn hot spots underneath the rubble of this crumpled stretch of interstate. This as inspectors and contractors tried to determine what ignited the plastic piping and construction material that was stored here by the Georgia Department of Transportation.
We're trying to understand more about how long that's been stored there, but again, it's no different than having a plastic cup in your cupboard. It does not ignite. It takes something to cause something like that to burn.
Transportation Commissioner Russell McMurray says 3 southbound and 3 northbound lanes sustained irreparable damage and will take several months to replace.
Again, that's over 700 feet of bridge that has to be removed and totally rebuilt.
GDOT officials say Friday morning the feds approved $10 million to jumpstart those efforts, already underway today.
We expect the demolition of these damaged sections to last throughout this weekend and into Monday.
Taking a live look here, you see that tractor there, and you may be able to see some of the other earth movers. We've got a lot of large equipment out here, not to mention inspectors, firefighters standing by, a lot of activity here. And I can tell you, several trucks waiting to get into this area from that contractor in Marietta. They've got those large crane pads, which certainly is a sign that we're going to see some other cranes moving in as they get ready for that demolition that's supposed to begin tomorrow. But again, investigators really trying to get at what started this fire. They say that this pipe doesn't burn easily, so they're trying to figure out how it started and who is behind this. We'll have much more on the story coming up tonight at 6. We're reporting live in Northeast Atlanta. Portia Broner, Fox 5 News.
All right, Portia. Well, it's great to see the crews out there getting a jump start on this big job. Well, the question everyone's been asking all day long is, which way did you go? Many of us had to use different routes to get to work today, and we're going to continue to have to find alternates for months. Now, Fox 5's Angelique Proctor talked to the Department of Transportation about its plan to keep you moving where you need to go, and she joins us now live. Angelique?
Sinead, the DOT wants everybody to map out a new plan, find that alternative route, and they say try something new. Don't be afraid to get on MARTA. Now, we are here at Interstate 85 right here at North Druid Hills. You can see going northbound, the cars are pretty light, but going southbound, it's starting to back up where they're getting off of the interstate because they can no longer go through town, and they're finding those alternate routes. Atlanta roads and interstates were already choked with traffic. Now throw in the collapsed bridge of a major artery like Interstate 85, and you have a real traffic mess on your hands. Georgia's public safety commissioner says thousands of Metro Atlanta drivers need to adjust to a new normal.
The fact of the matter is, you're just not going to be able to come north off of the connector on 85. Southbound on 85, inside of 285, essentially there'll be access all the way down to Georgia 400.
DeKalb police would not allow drivers access to 4 I-85 southbound ramps during rush hour Friday morning. But DeKalb's communications manager tells Fox 5 those ramps are now open. Even better news, the Buford Highway connector reopened at 2 p.m. Friday. It is a great way to get around the collapsed bridge that caused lots of congestion Thursday.
It's now imagine what that traffic nightmare is going to look like.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
MARTA is also another option. Ridership is already up in less than 24 hours.
We're seeing about a 25% surge in ridership, and just as importantly, almost 80% increase in sales. That means people are going out and buying Breeze cards in preparation to use the service even longer.
Instead of clogging up in-town streets with interstate traffic, Georgia's public safety colonel has a simple solution.
That's why we built 285, y'all. It's simple as that. That's the bypass, okay? So it's a pretty simple traffic plan. The cork is in the bottle here. You're going to have to use 285.
Use 285, that is his advice. Also grab your map book, create a couple of plans, and oh yeah, you gotta pack your patience. Reporting live in DeKalb County, Angelique Proctor, Fox 5 News.
Use 285, y'all. All right, Angelique, thanks. Well, you just heard the DOT lay out its plan to keep cars moving. So how well is it working? That's the question. And talk about losing patience. Some drivers are already doing that. Let's check in with Sky Fox Traffic's Katie Beasley. Katie, how bad is it out there tonight?
It's a rough one, that's for sure. We're going to get you through it, though, so don't worry. Spring break started this afternoon for most of Metro Atlanta, which means thousands of people, well, they're trying to get out of town while thousands are trying to get home. And then we've got some trying to get to the ballpark and SunTrust Park here. So here are the worst spots right now, and people are using 285. That's where we're seeing the heaviest volume along this east side perimeter right now from Spaghetti Junction down to I-20. Very heavy volume there. About an hour to make that trip right now, and the heaviest volume is going to be before you get to Stone Mountain Freeway. Also, these surface streets right around the problem spot here. Here it is right here between 85, between 400 and the downtown connector. And these are the same surface streets that we saw heavy volume this morning. So a lot of folks using them again to get home. Northside Drive, West Paces Ferry, Peachtree Road especially heavy right now. And then some other surface streets, Cheshire Bridge Road, Piedmont, around those closures, La Vista, Briarcliff, right here outside of our station. Very heavy this afternoon. So is Claremont Road. So a lot of folks using these surface streets to navigate things around. 75 on the south side. You've got extra drivers again leaving town for spring break. So about 40 minutes from 285 heading south down to Hampton McDonough Road. We're going to keep you updated. We'll have a check of SunTrust Park and the traffic around the News Brave Stadium in about 10 minutes.
All right. We sure appreciate it, Katie. And we keep saying, take MARTA if you can. MARTA is stepping up to provide some additional services. And coming up at 5:30, we're going to talk to some riders who are now turning to public transit to get around the collapse.
All right, let's turn now to